classroom and to the students that I work with. I'm here today to advocate not just for my urban side classroom, but for public schools that are in urban sites all over the nation, because we're failing them. And I know we are, because I am. So I was gonna cry. I know I'm failing my students because we're labeled, and I'm labeled right along with them. We are labeled far below basic by state standardized tests. We are labeled underperforming by No Child Left Behind. We're beginners by the state English proficiency test. Really, a lot of my kids are born in the United States. We speak English. Maybe not the way that test shows us we should, and we don't bubble in the right answers, but we speak English. We are labeled far below average by our own districts because we don't meet the benchmark assessments. You know, add to these labels, the labels that my kids have on them, because in our school, we have a high poverty rate. We have 100% free lunch and breakfast. And let's not forget those bags of food we send home on Fridays, because, you know, we gotta make it through the week. We have a high gain rate. When I start the classroom, okay, which thing are you in? Which thing are you in? Okay, how am I going to negotiate this? Because, you know, I have to teach you how to write. You know, and I have to teach you to read and write and do algebra. But I got to make sure you don't kill each other or me in the process, because now I have a 2-year-old son, and I want to make sure I get it. We have a high teen pregnancy rate. Yes, our 12, 13, and 14-year-olds are sexually active, and they do become pregnant, and we keep them in our school because, you know what, education is going to help them out their child. We don't want to run from that. We have a high drug and alcohol use, and it's on our campus. The newest form would be Fun Dip. Love that one. Crack, and it's tinted pink or baby blue, like Fun Dip you get from the ice cream man. Love looking for that. Marijuana and alcohol, we work with that. Our students, we have students that are Mexican and Black and Caucasian, Hmong, Cambodian, Laotian, Middle Eastern, and we're all still living in racially bound neighborhoods. We are segmented still in our area. Put all these factors together and we wonder why my school's low performing. We're along as low as 5%. We're a reform school. They're talking this year about tying my evaluation based on my students' test scores. Great. And if they go the direction of teacher pay, I'm going to have to pay them to let me teach. I'm going to owe the statement. Because it's just, the test scores aren't going to do it. So I might become a little bit confused. You know what, we can make a change though. We can do something different, and that's why I'm here today, is I really want to advocate for that. Let's look into my classroom and let's see what I've been able to do different, what I've been blessed to be able to do different in the classroom, because, you know, I have administrations that burden the bear, the work, the brunt of the force that we get from the district and the pressure. We have people that come in from our district with clipboards. Why aren't you testing this? Or why aren't you on this page in the pacing guide and reading this story at this moment in time on this particular day? Okay, you know, well, Chris's dad just got locked up last night, and Jesus was just evicted from his house and is now homeless, and there's a drive-by at the apartment complex. Okay, we're dealing with that right now. Take the clipboard and take it somewhere else, you know, not in the classroom. So this is a fight that we have to fight, and I feel like sometimes I'm handcuffed because I'm just struggling between being this professional educator, and I got to hit these core standards. On the other hand, I've got to treat my whole student. So what we do in my class is we write. We write. It's therapy. In the beginning of the school year, from day one, we're writing. What is real to us? What are we experiencing? What are we doing? Let's get it out there. We're not sure where it's going from there, but we're going to write it out. And a lot of my students struggle. They don't like me. I am Mexican, and I went to the same side of school that my students did. I'm white. I look white. I have a job. I am one of them. And so I really have to work hard to connect with them. And I get lots of student samples in the beginning. Let's see where I got them. I'm bored. What is teachers of love this one. Bored expecting detention. I need to not get any more because it's morning. I really thought my first name was good for a while because I did that a lot on the writing. It's all right. They can write what they want. So in my classroom, June or July, August, that's all I get. It's just a wall. I'm hitting a wall, and I'm just still up there preaching, and I'm trying to talk about, okay, what's real to us? How do I make Anne Frank look real? Because my Muslim students are really happy that she died, and they're wondering why they make it the father at the same time. And then, you know, my Black students are, what? That's racist. You know what? We were slaves once. And then my Mexican students goodness. Oh, well, we were too. You guys think we had cornered the market on slavery, really? Because, we were slaves too in Mexico. So, it's just a whole racial thing that we go through. So they start writing. I have this one student, and she's far below basic. She's EL, this close to expulsion from our school district. And she would sit there every day and just look at me. Just me money. The whole period, if I have a class of direction, it was her favorite thing to do. She's the one that labeled me. Pretty sure that was her favorite word to call me. In writing. That's fine. It's right. You wrote it down. I got something out of you. I'm cool with that. Coming into September, she started writing these one-liners in the class. I say help me, you ignore me. I yell save me, you won't find me. Kind of interesting. Okay, not 8th grade standard. We're not writing a 5-paragraph essay, but hey, I'm liking what I'm hearing from you. We move on later in the month. Why in life do we only notice the big that are put in front of us, rather than the small things all around us? Okay, I want to get to know you more. I'm really, really interested. At this point, we're now in November, and she's starting to open up to the other things in the classroom, because she was the same with them as well. She's starting to read the papers out loud. And again, they're just very short little pieces. It's not 8th grade standards at all, but she's doing something. She starts feeling comfortable in the classroom. She starts feeling safe, because my students, by November, they're pulling up their pants, they're hiding the colors, they're not throwing signs in my classroom anymore. They know it's a safe place. So she starts writing. Tired of life, tired of being around fake smiles, always having to cry. I know I must be strong, but in this world, it's kind of tough. I hate these stupid lies and tears that daily I cry, but I guess that's how life is, and is going to be. I know I have no choice but to keep on going. And while I'm going to take it one step at a time. Done with them wannabes. I just want to speak it all, but I can't. So she started to share and open herself up to me. She won't talk to me still. We're in November, she won't. But she'll write to me, and I can write back to her, and we're full of that. And then she just starts clicking. I'm giving her words, 8th grade words, and asking her to write to them, but they can write about whatever they want. Say the word adversary. I don't care. Quote a book, something you saw on Cops last night, just use the word adversary. So she starts writing. Alexis, she was my adversary in 4th grade. It was strange because in 2nd and 3rd grade, we were best friends. But you know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. It's funny because how can someone you trust so much hurt you so bad? Oh well, I guess it was kind of my fault for not looking at her flaws. I just looked at all the attention she got, and that's what I wanted. But one day I decided that I wasn't going to be her puppet anymore, and I cut my strings loose, and I made her mad. But that's when our rivalry truly began. Our relationship, it seems like this girl has a lot to say. She continues to write about admiring her older aunt who suffers from depression like she does. What? Depression? I had no idea that she suffered from depression, so of course I follow up. And she's supposed to be on medication and did not know that. At the end of December, they have to pick 3 pieces in different genres of writing, revise them, and submit them to me. She turns in this piece to me, and she revised it. There's semicolons, dialogue, she's using alliteration. Again, this is a hard little basic student. Try to look away. It feels just so terrible. I try to smile, but inside I'm done. No one knows how it feels. They try to understand, but no one can. What does anxiety feel like? Anxiety makes you feel as if you want to cry, like you can't breathe. You feel panicked. You feel like crawling in a corner and crying. You feel as there's no hope, that you're all alone. My mom also has anxiety. I sometimes felt as if her wanting to kill herself was my fault, because she tells me that me not listening to her makes her feel depressed. Some people cut themselves so they won't feel the pain. Others tell themselves it'll be okay. Some commit suicide. But as you're getting ready to jump, fall, stab, or overdose, you figure that all the problems you have are all solvable, and your life really is worth something. Sometimes you can't look away and you can't forget because the pain is too strong. Sometimes you're not being alive anymore is your only hope to get away from the pain. But it's not all that easy to stop the pain that happened. So some people let that knife slip into their chest, jump off that building, or overdose on drugs so they can get away from the pain. Sometimes that is the only way. Sometimes I think I give myself too much pity. My life is not all that bad. Sometimes I get too caught up in my own misery and forget about my schoolwork and important things that I have to do. People say not to let my home problems bother me, but it's not always that easy. Sometimes I just feel like locking myself in my room and crying. Sometimes I feel like getting that knife and stabbing it through my heart. Sometimes when me and my mom fight, I think in my head, if I kill myself, she won't miss me. No one will. No one cares. I sometimes try to blame my pain on everyone else, but myself, like it's everyone else's fault. I feel the she said, because Jesus had to suffer, we do too, and God knows how much pain we can take. And me and my smart butt answered, then why do people commit suicide? Oh yeah, that's right, because they can't take all the pain. I thought God knew how much pain we could handle. She just stayed quiet. She's not a Harvard basic. She is not a Cell 2, Level 2 EL student. This girl has stuff to say. But when I have to ask her, write about a day you woke up and you were 2 feet tall, explain what your day was like. Write about a favorite vacation that you went on with your family. Really, she's never been asked that. Trying to make education like a business, one size fits all, does not work for my students. And when they feel successful in the classroom, when they feel like, okay, I'm listening to them, and then their classmates are listening to them, they're willing to do whatever I want. Okay, let's do algebra now. And we write in algebra too. Okay, here's an algebra test. PIMDOS, anyone? Order of operations? Do you remember this? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we learned that in high school. Okay. So I asked her to write on PIMDOS, because we do it in all subjects. Here's her piece she submitted for her language arts class. Really, Mrs. D? You want me to write about PIMDOS? What about world hunger, world peace? What about my life? Aren't this far from fun? Whatever, I don't have to play this game. Hear me, just read it. P, parentheses. This is what you teachers want to hear. In the order of operations, I must first look to the parentheses and work inside them. Hear me. My life is in those parentheses. They close in on me. I'm trapped. So much pressure. E, exponents. You, do exponents next. Me? Exponents are on my shoulders. Their voices pulling and pushing. I'm overwhelmed. I'm the variable force to take these voices day in and day out. I hear you, Mrs. D. And my mom, and my friends, my sister, and my damn enemies. Some of you just need to shut the hell up. And indeed, you multiply, then divide left to right. Me? The difficulty of my life is multiplied by constant factors that pull at me. Peer pressure, sex, my friends, hopes, and dreams that I hear just that. I am divided by my wish to succeed and my fear of failure, of being out on that limb. A&S, you. Now add and subtract left to right. Me? Add to my struggle with depression, cutting, and thoughts of suicide. Subtract the fact that I will not fall into this abyss. Answer? You get me. Yes, slightly ostentatious. But why not? I can play this game at school. Can you hear me, Mrs. D? Because now I can hear me too. Okay, this student, through writing and through not following the pacing guide and not exactly following the standardized test, not looking at her as far below basic, a failure, someone who's stuck on a plateau, but treating that student, taking the time to get to know her and work with her. Yeah, she just said advanced in all subjects that year in 8th grade. Because she was capable, she was just disenfranchised. She was not engaged in the educational system the way we have it. So my answer, or what I'm asking you today is really, let's make that change. Let's reach all of our students. Let's see what we can do to make them all successful. So first, in order for that to happen, help me and other teachers like me treat the whole student. Uncuff our hands. Let us work with them. Let us get the counseling. Let's help them find homes to live in. Let us work with our students. Let us be that counselors that they sometimes need. As a professional, let me decide which professional development helps me. For me, it's the writing project. They picked me up early on in my career, and they gave me the freedom to research in my classroom, use in my students, and work in an area that I was comfortable. They're the ones that kept me going. The writing project helped me see that getting my students to write would be therapy for them and for me. Let's also get away from the labeling, because I really hate that, because I feel like I'm labeled with my students too. I'm not Harlow Basic, and I'm not an EL, even though we are. That's what we're labeled as. Let's look at their assets. What do they have? What do they bring to the table? Stop looking at deficits. Wow, you have opportunity bilingual, and you're going to become American citizen. Let's love that. Let's look how rich our culture will be. And finally, let's just get away from the standardized assessments, because what they bubble in when they're disenfranchised and disengaged isn't telling us anything, and so we're spending money on kids just, who can be.